Continental clean. What the hell is that? Why aren't they doing a normal power clean and they're bringing it straight to their shoulders? Stupid CrossFitters. Well, the internet once again becomes ablaze with people not knowing what an actual lift is. The video that was put out by Albany CrossFit has been one of the little banes of my existence for a long time. It's that CrossFit fail video that's been shared on the internet since like 2007, and it resurfaced again. And I remember having the same argument in like 2008, 2009. Pretty much every 6 months or so, I get tagged in some sort of video now, which is the same, well, not some sort of video, someone else resharing this thing with, and it's usually titled CrossFit Fail, but because it's a bunch of CrossFitters doing a continental clean and press with an axle. And it was kind of fun. So Bro Science recently just reshared this video, and a bunch of people tagged me, and then they shared my how-to video, which you can find on my channel on how to correctly do a continental clean. And so that was good because I got a bunch of views. Hopefully this does too. But I think, and then like a bunch of people get mad that like these people are making fun of something when they're just ignorant. They're not. People speak without knowing instead of deciding to do research, like I'm doing right now. I'm going to recite a whole bunch of stuff that I kind of have like heard like fifth hand, and I'm going to say it's fact. So go out and do your own research, because this is all off the top of my head, and I'm only like 20% Rain Man, so I'm not going to remember everything completely. Let's talk about what the continental clean is. First thing, calling it a continental clean is stupid. I kind of have to, or else people will not understand what I mean when I say the continental. Because the clean and the continental are two different lifts. Back when people just decided that, instead of doing real work and, I think we need recreationally to be able to lift objects, because life is now easy enough to have that luxury when you're not, breaking your back every day doing actual work to accomplish actual things other than getting jacked and tan. Barbells were not how they are today. They were crude, they were just pieces of metal with some sort of plate on the end, or just fixed axles. You didn't have these perfectly balanced and bearing-filled Alico barbells like we do now in weightlifting and everything else. They were just some sort of metal, and just like the Model T is not even recognizable as a car compared to what we have today, barbells technology has advanced as well. But according to gym goers, the Chuck Taylor's still the perfect shoe there is, even though it hasn't changed since like 1920. Anyways, so back then when we started to have weightlifting contests, a normal technique was doing a continental, which meant to bring the bar up onto your stomach and then somehow get it to your shoulders and then overhead. It didn't need to be in one fluid motion. Eventually, in the Olympics and weightlifting, this became illegal, and they said that the bar could not touch the body at any, the bar could not make contact with the body at any point in the lift, and that would be a clean lift. Now, of course, people do bump the bar with their thigh, etc., to do it. So imagine how much harder that was to not be able to have the bar have any contact with your body until it was at your shoulders. That's how the clean invented. So the continental is a movement that was the most efficient way they knew at the time to lift shitty barbells, until they deemed, yeah, that looks really stupid and ridiculous, so let's not allow it anymore. And then how the world works is, who wants to make this thing popular again? Strongman. So strongman in its nature is a sport which is feats of strength, and they're going to make odd object. You're not going to lift traditional barbells. So basically, it's like how weightlifting was at the start, where it's just kind of crude objects, and they're not, standardized. They're not it's just, and then there's less rules. You get to do it however you want. So it's like old-timey strength in a way. And the Poland's axle is a famous axle, and I'm not even gonna. You just Google a Poland's axle history, figure that out, because I don't remember any of this stuff off the top of my head. And this is just, I'm just saying a brief history on what the fuck that stupid thing you saw is, and you say, oh, CrossFitters are so stupid. When really you should say strongmen are dumb, and that people should lift real barbells now and not mess with axles. So that was a famous thing, and then it kind of got brought back into popularity when the Arnold Sports Festival in, I think, 2001 had it, and it was a replica of the original Poland's axle, which was fixed weight and 366 pounds, and it was literally like an axle with wheels from a train, that went down the track. So it's this big, thick bar. The weights or wheels on the side are fixed. They don't spin within it. So if you're going to try to power clean that weight, it's just not going to work. First, you're not going to have the grip strength to do it unless you're like one of like two people that are like stupidly strong in the world, which you're not if you're watching this, because they have better things to do with their life. And also because all the weight is fixed, it doesn't rotate in your hands on the flip. It'll just go straight out. So you have to do the mixed grip, pop it up, do a continental, and then get it to your shoulders anyway how. The continental is not a good athletic movement. It serves basically zero athletic benefit. It's stupid. I haven't competed in strongman for about 2 years now, and I haven't done one continental clean in that time, other than to show people that are also have something wrong enough with themselves. They have enough wrong with them that they also want to do these silly things like I did. That's the only time I've ever demonstrated a continental. If you do not plan to compete in strongman, other than you just want to see if you can do it and mix up your training, there's zero athletic benefit to it. One of the comments I got on my YouTube is, why not do deadlifts and power cleans separately? That's a very good call. If all you want to do is just get strong and look decent, that's a much better plan of attack than to get an axle and figure out how to do a continental clean. The fact is, this is a lift in strongman, and if you want to be good at strongman, you need to get proficient at it. And it's also kind of leaking its way over into CrossFit contests and stuff too, so it might not be the worst idea to at least know the basics on how to do a good continental. And of course, there's that video on my website. So, the TLDR on this video, the continental was around before the clean. They banned it because it was dumb. Strongmen brought it back because we're stupid. Don't do it unless you want to do strongman. Doing strongman lifts are by its nature, we're supposed to make things harder and look more impressive than traditional lifts, and be able to relate more to common people that maybe don't even lift. So, if you want to impress your friends with cool videos and profile pictures on Facebook without actually getting any stronger or bigger, then learn how to do tricky lifts like lift an axle with car tires on the side. Looks way cooler in plates.